Yesterday we learned about relation. What is a relation? And we're gonna have in a relation x, the domain, y, the range, and there's a connection, there's a link, there's a relation between x and y. You can represent in a table, you can represent as an equation, you can represent as a graph this relation. So relation is something simple. Sometimes can be complicated, not complicated, but complex, like the example, the length of the bone of the body, or one of the bones of the body, and the height of the person. There's a relation. And sometimes it's something as simple as the puzzle that you have seen in the bell work. There's a very simple relation between the numbers, and that's it. We learned yesterday how to find domain, and we learned that, remember that to find domain you have to check the x-axis. Domain is going to be x, and we learn how to find range, and to find range we're going to check the y-axis, right? All this we have seen yesterday. Good morning, Alanis. Let's actually apply. Let's actually focus today on a few of the traps. It's kind of simple, but there are a few traps. And I'm going to show here what kind of traps we are talking about. When you try to find the domain and range of a relation, you're going to be careful with a few traps. The first trap, the arrow. If you see this arrow here, this means the graph doesn't stop right here. The graph goes all the way. In this case here, this example goes all the way up to infinity, and all the way left to negative infinity, like this. The graph goes on and on. And here the same thing, but here goes to the right, to infinity, and up to infinity as well. This is one trap. If you see the graph, you find an arrow, that means the infinity. You're going to have infinity in your domain, or or in your range. Another trap, another trick is the dot. You have closed dots, and this is a closed dot. Then you're going to represent the domain using the brackets if you have closed dots. And open dots. If you have open dots, you're going to represent the domain and the range with parentheses. Okay? So three traps. The three traps are here. The arrow, the closed dot, and the open dots. Let's check how to solve the domain of this first example. Let me clear this and start over. Let's find the domain. Go up a little bit. Domain. And the domain is on the x-axis, right? And let's check the traps here. This arrow means it goes all the way to negative infinity. So the domain is going to start in negative infinity as well. See? Negative infinity. And the domain is going to go all the way to the right until it stops right here. But there's an open dot. Open dot means parentheses. So the domain starts on negative infinity and stops in this open dot on the number here is 2, right? Open dot on 2. When you have an open dot, is parentheses. Now let's find out range, the range. And this arrow means it goes up to infinity, and that means that range also goes up to infinity. And if you go down, the range stops here. There's a closed dot. Closed dot on, which number is this? Is about number one, is close to number negative 1.3. Here, negative 1.3. So the range is going to be from is a closed dot. Closed dot means bracket. Closed dot is bracket. So bracket, negative 1.3, and goes all the way to infinity. Okay? That's it. Check the other example real quick. Domain is going to infinity, right? Because of this arrow, going to infinity. And it starts here on 4. So domain here is -4, I mean, -4 to infinity. And range, goes, this goes to infinity, so range also goes to infinity, and stops here on this open dot in -2. The open dot open dot is parentheses, -2 and infinity. Okay, those are the traps, those are the points, the items that you need to pay attention: the arrow, the open dot, and the closed dot. Let's check a few more examples on the next slide. Any questions so far? No questions? And this actually, we usually don't have a graph like that. This is just to exemplify, to understand what means the open dot, the closed dot. If you have the closed dot, means the point is included, means you're gonna use the bracket. If you have the open dot, means the point is not included, you're gonna have the parentheses, right? On this situation here, let's find the domain. 4 is included, and let's go to the next one. And now let's check 1, if it's included or not. Here it's not included, but up here, yes, it is included. So let's fill out this dot. And let's go up to 2. Let's check 2. 2 is not included here, but yes, it's included here. Fill the dots. Go. 5. Let's check 5. 5 is just an empty dot, an open dot. That means 5 is not included. The domain is going to be domain from -4, included, close the dots, to 5, which is an open dot. Okay? Next example here, this next graph. And now we have, look, let's find the domain, just domain. Open dot means 5 is not included. Now let's go, and here we have, let's check number -2. -2 is open, not included here, but yes is included here. Just let's fill it out. Let's go, and here on 1, let's stop. And check it out on 1. This is open dot, empty, right? So actually 1 is not included at all, because it's not in either of the dots. Let's go, and to 5, and 5 is also not included. That means the domain starts in -5, open, and go over -2, we don't need to represent here, and go all the way to 1. And 1 is not included. United with 1, which is not included, all the way up to 5, which is also not included. That's it. Kind of simple. And this is a review, what we have seen yesterday. Let's check the topic of today's class. And today is getting what we know about the relations, about domain and range, and we will apply in a real life case. And let's check this example here, analyzing a relation. The linear equation. So we have a linear equation that represents a relation. The linear equation is going to be y equals -0.014x plus 64.5. So this linear equation represents a relation. Which relation? And it says here, relates the weight of a car, and x is going to be the weight of a car, And Y is going to be the mileage of this car. So we understand that there's a relationship between the weight. If the car is too heavy, this is going to affect the mileage, how many miles the car can run with 1 gallon of gas. And the question here, the first one is find the gas mileage in miles per gallon for a car weighing 2,550 pounds. We just need, let's go to A. We just need to plug in the number, and the number here is X equals 2,550. Plugging into the equation, Y equals negative 0.014 times 2,550 plus 64.5. Okay? And calculate it. Calculate this to find Y. Get your calculator, do this, the multiplication, the sum, and then you find Y. B, letter B here. Find the gas mileage for a car weighing 2,850 pounds. So let's calculate this. X now is equals to 850. Now plug in Y equals negative 0.014 times 2,850 plus 64.5. The same thing, get your calculator, type these operations and find out the results. If you do this, you're gonna find, let me check the next. What you're gonna find? Check it out. If the car is 25,500, this is the weight, the mileage is going to be 28.8. And if the car is heavier, the mileage is going to be less. He's going to spend more gas, right? So you can understand, you can see there's a relation between the weight of the car and the amount of gas that the car is using per mile, or the mileage. How many miles it goes in 1 gallon of gas. Okay? Good. Any questions so far? Tell me if this is clear or so not so clear. Actually going to work on another example of the quiz. And pretty much what you need to understand is that relation. Yeah, let's go to the quiz, Kalia. You need to understand that the relation can be represented by an equation. This equation here represents the relation. When we talk about relations, can be a very simple relation and can be a relation that's represented by an equation. Before the quiz, let's check the bell work. Very simple bell work, very easy, and a very simple relation. Type your guesses. What do you think is the right answer? The numbers in each set of 9 numbers are related. There's a relation. What is the value of the question mark? And the hint is to combine numbers. You have to combine in pairs, in ordered pairs, according to the position, and check if you can identify, if you can see a pattern, and then identify a relation. Now type your answers. And let's check now this next row. Adding 2 plus 5, 7, 7 plus 0, 7. And here I'm assuming, checking the pattern, is going to be 7 as well, right? 4 plus question mark equals 7. And Gabriela said 3. And I think it's the right answer. If we add 4 plus the question mark equals 7, this is going to be 3. 3 is the right answer. and that's Gabriela got it right. 3. Keon 3. And actually, don't worry if you didn't get it right. Don't worry, Angelique, because it's just a silly puzzle. And just to exemplify and to make you understand that a relation can be something as simple as that. This is a relation. This is an example of a relation. It's going to be 3, Talia. The answer is 3, because you're going to add 4 plus question mark equals 7. This is an example of a relation, and a relation can be something a little bit more complex, as the thing that we have seen with the weight of the car and the mileage, and this can be represented by an equation, and this both are relations, okay? Let's work on our quiz now. That's what we are waiting for, right? We are waiting for the quiz. So let's work on the quiz. And moving on, the answer here is going to be 3. And that is our quiz for today. Very simple. We just need to apply the knowledge that we have about relations, domain, and range. Let me read the first question here. The table gives a relation between the month of the year and the average precipitation for that month in Miami, Florida. The question, first question, question letter A. What is the range element corresponding to April? So if you want to find out, Maddie, the bell work is 3. What is the range element corresponding to April? So we go here to the table, find April. April is here. And the range, X, you remember X is the domain and Y is the range, right? So the range is going to be this item here, this element here, 2.85. And that's what you're supposed to do. That's simple. You're going to do the same thing for letter B. And the questions are very straightforward. You just check on the table, you're going to find the answer. This is good for this first part here. The next part, we have another relation is between the person's age and the person's maximum recommended heart rate. And there's another table. And the last question is about a relation that established. Instead of a table, we have a relation with an equation. This is the relation is an equation. Okay? So, I give you a couple of minutes, then you work by yourselves, you try to solve this quiz by yourselves, and if you need my help, in a couple of minutes I'm going to get back here and we work together. If you want, you can share your answers in the chat and I check and give you feedback if it's right and or if you need to be fixed. Okay, let's move, let's work.